All right. I think it's recording. We'll see. We'll see if we're on track here. I will say that you are a much bigger view on my camera, which is nice. Please take a comfortable seat and we'll do some breathing to check in. Let me know how the audio feels too throughout. There is another option if you don't like how the audio is coming through. So as you start to settle in, in yoga they think of it as like there's always a stillness to be accessed. There's always a stillness to be accessed, even when there's a lot going on. And it's just that sometimes we have a clearer perception of that stillness than others. And so, how do we find that is part of the practice. You can start by closing the eyes and starting to lengthen your breath. So you're sort of saying, in my body, in my being, I'm moving toward, I'm taking in less, I'm slowing things down, I'm moving toward a perception of that stillness. Then we start to notice some of the things that are in the way, some of the pain we might be feeling, tightness, even emotions that might be keeping us from perceiving that stillness. And this becomes our practice. Start to lengthen the breath in and out through the nose. Start to notice body sensations that keep you paying attention to them versus being in that stillness. Maybe it is that right shoulder, or just some tightness from not moving and sitting too much. As you start to notice it, give yourself some space from it, that it's there. We're going to interact with it. We're going to move and we're going to breathe, but we're just noticing that there's something else watching. Now you're going to give yourself just a littlest bit of movement in your spine. So maybe a twist of side to side. Not too much, just enough to feel some new sensation and to be in that place of watching and noticing. That stillness is never far off. I'm just saying, let's move the neck around a little bit. Take the chin like up and to the side. Notice that, and up into the other side. Just tilt side to side. Just give a little bit of rotation and movement to your neck. Almost thinking that the sensation is inside of your perception. It's inside of what may already be still. Let the head hang. Good. One more long, deep breath in. And long, deep breath out. And you'll come to a tabletop position. We'll continue this exploration of our range of motion. So hands and knees. Just start to sink the spine through the shoulders a little bit. Around the spine up towards the ceiling. Let's go 2 or 3 times back and forth, moving away some of that. We live a lot of life during the holidays, at least I think I do. There's a lot of human human experience, being, existing, relating, being cranky. I definitely do some of that during the holidays. And then we're going to remember our yoga. Lift your toes up. So your toes point in the air and kind of rock forward. So it's like a little baby cobra. And then rock back. Put the toes back on the ground and sit your hips back towards like a child's. And just rock 2 more times. You can lift the toes up and rock the hips forward a little bit. See if this one bothers your shoulder at all, John. You can pull the shoulders back as you do. That's the key there. If this one's bothering your shoulders coming forward, you're going to squeeze them onto your back. Good. Let's come back to neutral and step your left foot out to the left. Kind of push into the knee. And come back to center. Step the right foot out to the right and push into the knee. Feel into that hip. Come back to center. Good. Step the left foot forward a little bit and push into the hip. Just opening up the hips, noticing how each hip is relating the back of the left hip, the front of the right. And step back again. Let's go the other side. And step a little more forward on the diagonal. Push through the hip. Push back. Neutralize yourself. You have blocks, you can move them to the side and slowly lower yourself down onto your belly. Inhale, curl up, gentle cobra. And then hang your forehead down. So you're still lifting your shoulders, but your forehead hangs. Inhale, lift up. Push through your hands and rise up. And then go back to that child's pose again. Stretch through the back of your hips. Stretch the hands out way in front so you get a long shoulder stretch on the top of the shoulder. John, you're going to want to intentionally really spread your hands and palms and press down as you pull your hips and ribs back, stretching the top of the shoulder, back of the shoulder. Inhale, come back up to neutral. You're going to walk your hands back and come up to kneeling pose, placing your hands on your hips. Inhale, shrug your shoulders and squeeze them back a little bit. Just pause here, hold this action with the shoulders squeezed back. Lift the chin and breathe in. Stillness is always present. Our awakening sensation, lower the chin. So we can have a clear perception that it's always there, even as the body goes through different stages of being tight, being relaxed, etc. Come back to neutral. Take your left hand, slide it straight up towards the sky, and then tilt your body a little bit over to the right. Let's come back down and change sides. Tilt your body over to the left. Inhale, back up. Slide the hands down the legs, back onto the mat. Actively spread your fingers and press fully through the palm. If this hurts your shoulder, John, sometimes you can widen your hands. It can help with that right shoulder a little bit. And let's lift our left leg up back behind us. Lift it up high into the sky. And just hold it there for a moment. If you're having any cramping, you can pulse. Otherwise, hold. Feel the back of the leg muscles activating, engaging. And then lower down. Let's switch sides. Lift up through the right leg. Hold it, activating the muscles, trying to hold it long enough where you feel the muscles have to start to fire and work. Any cramping, you can pulse it rather than hold. Good. Bring that knee back down. Let's pull the left leg out to the left and hold the knees bent here. Yeah, it's going to float up in the air. You got it. Yep, almost 90 degrees if you can get to it. Flex the foot a little bit. And then lower down. Inhale, lift the right leg up 90 degrees. Exhale, lower down. And then shift the weight back, lift the hips up, lift the knees up, downward facing dog pose. And press the shoulders down towards the feet, elongating the body. You can really root through the palm, or first the heel of your hand, then the palm of your hand, and then out through the tips of the fingers, all down into the yoga mat. 2 more deep breaths here. A posture and find stillness. We enjoy the focus on the sensation of that pose, and it puts us in a state of stillness for a moment. Come back down to kneeling. Slide the hips forward. And keep the elbows in against the ribs. Just try to firm up the core as you lower down. And point the toes behind you. Inhale, pull the shoulders up and back first. Lift up the body. Keep the shoulders lifting, and then gently let the head come down, grow heavy like a bowling ball. And then inhale, come up again. Push through the arms a little bit this time. Squeeze the glutes and gently bring the belly muscles in. Create some support and stability. But in yoga, it's well known that no matter how much stability you create with the body, it's something that is fleeting, coming and going. Whereas the stillness that one seeks in yoga does not change. It stays the whole time. Shift your hips all the way back to child's pose. Stretch to the back of the hips. Lengthen the back. As you melt your shoulders, stretch the arms forward, lengthening the back of the shoulder blade. Now come forward. And then walk the hands back until you're up in kneeling pose again. You're going to turn your palms to face front. Spread them again, fingers and palm. Rotate them a little back, and you're going to inhale, lift your shoulders up and squeeze them onto your back. The tendency will be for the elbow to move faster than the shoulder. Try to feel the shoulder move back before the elbow. Yep, we'll move back some. Good. Just feel the stretch across the front of the chest. Breathe here a few deep breaths. If you want, you can lift up the chin and gently let the hips go forward an inch or two. Good. Place the hands on the thighs. Sit back down as low as you like with your hips. And just breathe here a moment or two. If you want to use those blocks here, you can. You're going to grab the blocks and move them to the front, middle-ish of the mat. And then go ahead and step your left foot forward. So we're in a low lunge this time, more neutral. But still the hand is inside. Push down through the knee and push down through your front foot. And allow the pelvis to kind of drop. Allow the tailbone to kind of drop. So you're relaxing. Another way of finding stillness is just to let it all go, right? One way of for being still is to hold and create tone and stability with our muscles. Another way of letting stillness happen is like, I let it all sink to the bottom. Let it all sink to the bottom, releasing all effort entirely. Passively let the pelvis sink down through the foot and back knee. Use your arms like pillars and just kind of hang your heart and ribs down through the shoulder blades. Good. Now go ahead, tuck the back toes just to compare and contrast. Push through the back leg so that back leg lifts. And you're toning the back leg, toning the front thigh, holding your high lunge. High lunge is when the leg is lifted. Good, you got it. The knee is lifted, the foot's down still. And if you want, you're going to press down through the feet, hug the legs in to create some stillness and stability, and then rise upright, high lunge pose. If you want to turn that foot down for balance, go right ahead. Otherwise, keep the heel lifted and the hips square. Take a deep breath. And then lift the arms straight up into the sky. Keep breathing. The pose can sometimes find stillness. The breath will keep moving, helping you create juxtaposition, helping you create awareness that there is something steady within. It's underneath the breath. It could be the perception itself. Lower that back knee down, place the hands on the blocks, and then go back to a kneeling pose. Just rest a moment. Breathe long and slow. You want to move those blocks over a little bit so that it's easy now to step the right foot forward. Low lunge first. We're going to hang, right? We're going to practice stillness through letting go and no effort. Just drop energy down through the front foot, down through the front knee, even letting the pelvis and tailbone sink like they're falling to the bottom of the ocean, like they were bedrock. Bedrock doesn't move. Bedrock doesn't work hard to tone itself. It just stays still. You allow that deep passive stretch, still supported, still held, just by the structure itself, like bedrock. And when you're ready, you're going to lift the back knee, tuck the back toes, high lunge. I call it high lunge when the back knee is lifted. You might stay here and just work on engaging the muscles, pushing the feet down, squeezing the legs towards each other. If you can have that stability and keep it, you're going to start to lift up through your core, high lunge pose, or warrior one if you'd like. This is an active stability, an active sense of stillness, of focusing, a fiery stillness where the muscles are toned through a heat. You can lift your arms straight up into the sky if you'd like for even more balance and challenge. That the stillness comes through a sense of focus and determination. It still feels like clarity. I think when we have lots going on, we definitely had a lot going on, a lot of different travel and whatnot, conversations, relationships over the past week and still through the new year, that we can lose sight of that stillness because so much of the movement comes on. You can bring that knee back down, replace the hands, step back, and then sit back. And all that movement, all that engagement can help us lose sight of the stillness. But yoga philosophies, it's always there. It's always there. When we just get caught up looking at what's moving, we forget that it's there, but it's still there. Let's try it in a plank pose. You're going to bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push down. Again, the more you spread the palm and press through the fingertips, the more stabilizing this is on the shoulder blade. You can do this from a kneeling position or straighten the legs. Breathe, push down against the floor. Feel the core firm up against the spine. And there's again the stillness through an active force. And we just notice, we just recognize something in our awareness, something in our consciousness and attention that's very steady and quite still, quite relaxed, even as the physical body feels the fire. Even as our personality might complain or feel pulled in different directions, something's very steady. Good. Lower down the knees. Do the knees first or lower down all the points. Maybe kiss the mat. And then rest the body onto the earth. And here we go. Here's another opportunity to let that hanging, releasing feeling, surrendering, letting gravity hold the body, feeling like it's effortless. Inhale, lift up. Cobra pose. Melt the spine down through the shoulder blades. So one way to move the shoulder blades back is to squeeze them onto your back. The other way is to kind of passively let your heart melt through them. So we're thinking about this concept of stillness One is through the active force of firming up, and the other is through the passive force of letting go. They're both available to the human consciousness. Tuck your toes, lift all the way up and back, downward facing dog pose. Take a moment to stretch and lengthen the shoulder blade by pushing down through the heel, the palm, the fingers, and the tips of the fingers. Walk it forward. Forward fold, front of your yoga mat. You can put the blocks at the front if you'd like. Inhale, extend out through your spine, flat back pose, slide the chin forward, elongate your spine. Breathe here. You can push down through the hands or just gently float the hands out to the side. Feel how it engages the core a little more that way. Push through the legs a little bit more. And then inhale, come all the way up. Reach up high into the sky. And exhale, hands to your heart. You all have the hip height view, which is totally fine, but I'm going to give a little bit of shoulder principles now so it's easy for you to manage your camera. Maybe get the whole body or like knees and up, then that would be fine. Yeah, perfect. Nice job. So you're going to turn the palms to face forward again. Just take a moment. Inhale, lift up the shoulders like you're shrugging them. So you're feeling them move towards the ears, nice and gentle. And then as slowly as you can, just let them go down. But as they go down, think that they're going back. So you're just getting a little bit of back body, just a little, as you release them down. Let's try that again. Shrug. And then slow as you can, you let them sink down, but you add in this component of back as you do it. Notice that affects your posture, opens the muscles across the chest. One more time, shrug. And then nice and passive, let them go down, but active, guiding them back as you do it. Great. Lengthen through your spine. Feel the low back come in a little bit as you do this. And then from here, bend your elbows and keep bending them as you lift them. So you look like a field goal post or a cactus. Field goal post or a cactus. Good. And you can go as high as you like. It can be down the angle a little bit. Yeah, it can be a little bit extended out. Yeah, so it's like a 90-degree bend there, John, like a little bit more extended. Yeah, there you go. And you just sort of feel it. So if you bring them down against the side ribs, the fingers point straight out horizontally. You should feel it opening across the top of the shoulder and across the chest as you pinch them towards the ribs. You keep that same angle with your elbow and sort of slowly bring them up. Notice if there's any pain or difficulty, but you might get the elbow as high as the shoulder. In this case, the fingers will point straight up, and then you'll go even past that. But as you start to go higher than that, actively think back as though the fingertips would end up behind your head. The fingertips would end up behind your head as you go a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Then you get an assist for today. Good. Come back all the way down. Elbows against your ribs. Good. So let's look out straight now. Try not to move the head. Pinch the elbows against the ribs to feel that kind of tone happening. And nice and slow, start to bring them up, noticing that the shoulder, the top of the arm bone rotates in the shoulder. And you're going to think the hands are going back. Don't take the head forward. You can stop wherever it feels right. Now you're almost going to get those hands will just naturally end up behind the head as opposed to over, or some people even in front. And just stop where it feels right. You could practice this same exact exercise actually against a wall if you really wanted to, so that those elbows and fingertips are against a wall the whole time. And then bring it back down. And relax the arms. Good. Bend your knees really deep. Sit down in the chair. You can touch the sides of your knees with your fingertips. Here we lengthen the shoulders, kind of the opposite of what we've been doing, and gently press against the outer knee here. Breathe. Touch the block if you like, or the floor, and step the left foot back. And open up Warrior Two pose. Good. Push down through the feet and hug the legs towards each other. Elongate out through the palms. You're going to turn your palms to face up today, and then lift the hands just above the shoulder height, elbows straight, just above shoulder height. Slowly move the thumbs back in space to open across your chest. Good. Take your both hands to the front of your mat. Square your hips and feet a little bit as you straighten your front leg. Bow over the front leg. Breathe here as you push and melt down through the feet. Good. Step to the front of your yoga mat. Inhale, come all the way up, arms up into the sky. And then exhale, bend your knees. Touch the fingertips to the knees. Hold it and breathe. Gently press the fingertips against the outer knee, toning muscles of the arms and the shoulder blades and mid-back this way as well. Creating a stillness through focus and engagement. Good. Bend a little deeper. The fingertips can touch the floor or the ground as you then step your right foot back and inhale up, Warrior Two. Arms will be out like a surfer for this one. Yep. You can twist your body open, John, towards Lynn. And open your arms out like a surfer. There you go. Yeah. Turn the palms to face up. Gently lift them up a little bit above the shoulder. And start to move the thumbs back, feeling the engagement in the shoulder and the back body. And breathe. The breath is a reminder that things are moving, things out in consciousness, things that we observe, they are moving. But it can get so calm and so relaxed, our breath, that it can remind us of the stillness. It can remind us of the calm. Let's bring the hands down to the front foot, down to the floor, down to the blocks, and straighten and square our hips and front knee. Releasing over the front leg. Tuning in if you can. See if you can feel that there's just something quite still about your being, about your existing in this moment. Even as the body breathes and the sensation changes and ebbs from pose to pose. There's something quite concrete, quite fixed. Step to the front of your mat, press down through your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Yoga philosophy, they kind of like this idea. It's like, hey, we always are talking about what's moving and changing. Bring your hands down by your sides. We're always talking about what's moving and changing and shifting. Let's take our left hand to our head, bring it over to the left. But the reason we can talk about it All the things that are moving and changing is because of the stillness. It's like a firmament. It's like a ground of existence. And gently start to rotate the elbow up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make a little circle or a big circle with your right arm. You can turn the palm up or down. Just sort of feel what releases in the neck. A lot of holiday-ish stuff can come up relating to people, family, crazy drivers on the road. Maybe you're the crazy driver on the road. We might store some of that tension right up in our neck there. Just moving the arm, trying to let it follow the sensation, unwind the sensation, and release it back into the emptiness, into the open, steady stillness. And then come back up to neutral, slowly change sides, bringing the right hand up, and gently take the right head over. Well, just your one head, but take it to the right. Give it a moment just to feel any sensation that's there. And slowly start to activate your left palm and start to make a circle of some kind. Big, small, low, high. Just noticing how it opens up. Any tracks of sensation that you're feeling. It's okay if this arm does something different than the first side. Just exist with how it wants to move. Sometimes it's an old school of yoga, existing with things how they want to be, letting them be as they naturally are, that you get a deeper understanding of your stillness. Rather than trying to change or manipulate things, you can just think of how does this arm and shoulder want to move to release tension, as opposed to having to hold it in place and fix it. Bring your head back up to neutral. Lift up tall. You're going to rise up on your tippy toes and push down with your palms a little bit to help you balance. Up on your tippy toes, create some tone and steadiness. Feel the firming of the calf muscles. Let the muscles naturally help hold you up and stabilize you in this pose, tippy toes. So you can almost feel the muscles trying to work towards your aim here. Good. Plant the feet down. You're going to bow halfway forward. You can touch blocks. Halfway forward. Push down on the blocks or maybe on a little ledge. Lift up your right leg. Push down through your left foot. Breathe here. Breathe here. And you're going to take one hand away and you can put it on your heart or put it out to the side like a wing. And now you get the focus. Are you going to do that sinking, just being through the joints and through the bones? You're going to use your muscles to help balance and create steadiness for you. Maybe both hands against the heart. So even as there may be a wobble, there is stillness in the heart. Good. One or both hands back down to the earth. Drop that back foot down as far as it feels comfortable. And then lift up warrior one pose. As you lift up, you're going to pull your elbows wide like they're making a rainbow arc. Elbows come down like the pose you did earlier. You can pull those elbows down as much as they want so the chest opens up. As the chest opens up, elbows and hands moving back slightly. Keep engaging the upper back. Twist your spine to the left. And keep the front knee bending or straighten it. Inhale back to center, both arms up high. And then step to the front of your yoga mat. Good job. Inhale up. Exhale, bow. Holding onto blocks to the floor, a little bit of a ledge. I like holding onto the blocks. Lift up your left leg and just kind of keep it parallel with the floor if you can. And you're going to balance through the joints, through the bones. That's more of the passive letting go. But I think for me, at least in this pose, it helps to engage and employ muscular tone, some active steadiness. Bring the right hand up to the heart. And that could be enough, keeping 2 points of contact with the earth, or the left hand up to the heart as well. Balancing. Breathe. flow is a kind of stillness. When we just entrance ourselves with the flow of our breath or a repetitive activity, we get a sense of stillness, but it's because we're flowing like the river. And this is part of this natural way of letting things be as they are, the natural way. Put the one hand or both hands back now and drop the foot down. Inhale, rise all the way up. So the yogis thought of flow as a participatory alignment with what is. That nature, consciousness, is always actually active and moving. And if we sync up our body, breath, attitude with it, it'll feel like a kind of stillness. And we might think of that as a flow. Pull the elbows down wide, opening the chest, any amount like we did earlier. And you can add a twist in by turning the body toward the front leg to the right. Keep that front knee bent or straighten it, whatever works better for you. Inhale back to center, lift up through the arms, and step to the front of your yoga mat. Good work. Good work. Should feel that the upper back has been engaged a little bit. We're going to come back up. Sorry. Well, first we're going to go down. You come all the way down to your mats. I really want to do this pose on our mat today. We do this. We always do it at the end of class, but I think it's going to support our class of just upper back toning. Come all the way down onto our backs. I'm going to get bad scores for my sequencing here as a yoga teacher, but it makes sense physically. We're going to lay on our backs so that our shoulders are down, knees are bent, and sort of take a moment, elbows near the side ribs, push the elbows and shoulders down into the mat and see what happens in your back. Push the elbows and shoulders down into the mat. Try not to move your head too much. Keep your gaze pointing straight up. Just feel what's happening in the body here as you press the elbows and shoulders down into the mat. Keep that. We're not even lifting our hips yet. Just activate the upper back, mid back area. Okay, now you can keep the elbows bent or place the palms flat on the mat near your hips. And the same thing, palms, elbows, and shoulders. Press them down. Feel what happens to the back. And see if it's any different. Good. As you press down through your elbows and shoulders and hands, try to elongate your neck, almost like you're sliding or wriggling it away from your shoulders, elongating the front, back, and sides of your neck. Keep breathing there, enjoying that sensation of freeing up the neck from the chest and back tension. Let's do one bridge pose here. Lift your hips up, pressing down through the arms and feet. Breathe deep. And lower down. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the hands and you're gonna lay them by your side. You're gonna bend them a little bit out to the side so the elbows and shoulders are still down. And then get the fingertips down against the mat. And like we did earlier, you're gonna slide the knuckles, the fingertips and the elbows on the floor. So don't let them lift up. And if it starts to bother your shoulder in any way, stop. You've gone far enough, right? You're trying to sort of find your range and then engage again. So when you find that area, maybe the arms are straight, maybe the elbows are bent, but the fingers, knuckles, and elbows are definitely on the ground. push down into the mat again, push down into the floor again, and feel how that activates your upper back. Feel how that activates your upper back, just straight down to the floor. As you activate those muscles, elongate your neck. Elongate your neck. You might even turn it a little bit side to side. This is with the hips down. We tend to keep the head steady when we lift our hips up. With the hips down, it's fine. Good. Now keep that active steadiness. Center your head. And once again, lift up into bridge pose. Good. Lower all the way down. Keep the arms active. And then slowly soften. Let the fingers crinkle, crinkle. Good. One more round. You get to choose. You can do elbows down, fingers in the air. You can do arms down, hands by your hips. Or you can do the arms overhead, elbows and hands down. You choose whichever one kind of felt good to your body. Choose the shape that you like. And then once again, before you lift up, activate the pose. So activate the pose by pressing the elbows, hands, and shoulders straight down, toning the musculature. Once you've created a steady tone, actively lift up the hips without losing the shoulder engagement. And release back to the mat. Good. Bring the legs in and rock forward. Go over the crossed ankles to tabletop pose again. And lie on the belly. So from here, you're going to open your hands. If you want, you can put them on blocks and get your hands a little bit more height off the ground. We want to keep our elbows not higher than the shoulder, not higher than the hand. Use your gaze if you need to. And lift up the shoulders. You can use your core muscles to lift up your back and shoulders. And then lift your arms up off the blocks or the floor. And hold that same idea, right? It's just now you're pressing up against the air as opposed to pressing down into the mat. The same action though. Toning those muscles. Breathe. And now elongate the chest, elongate the front of the throat. And relax down into the mat. Put the right arm out long, out in front of you, and then turn onto your right hip where you can then be easy to hold your left foot. Easy to hold your left foot. If this is hard, use a strap. And you can see how my palm, right, I'm holding the outer edge of my foot. And what you're going to do is you're going to walk your hand around. So don't let go. Just walk your hands so you're holding the toes. And this is going to start to open up the front of the shoulder when you do this. And if you can do that, you might keep going and go around the big toe and hold the inner edge. Don't let go. Just we want to keep that crunch top of the shoulder opening as opposed to internally rotating. We want to keep it externally rotating. So the bicep and the elbow turn to the sky. And squeeze your shoulders towards each other. And squeeze the mid-back muscles. And this might pull the leg back a little bit. It's more about activating your shoulder through the leg. Usually we activate the leg through the arm. We're reversing it tonight and using it to help engage our shoulder. Breathe into your left chest. Opening up the left side ribs here. And rotate back to center. Put the left arm out in front and rotate onto your left hip, which should make it easier now to grab your right. And again, we start, you can watch me in the camera, I'm starting on the outer edge of the foot. If you know it, you got it already. Good, and then from there, you're gonna walk around to the toes. That just might be enough. Even though it might be easy for you to grab the inner foot, walking and slowly moving the hand will help you refine the shoulder engagement. Just pause there, try to work that shoulder activity before going all the way around to the inner foot. And then once you've got that, hug your shoulder blades. Use that muscular action we've been working all class. Hug the shoulder blades. Squeeze the mid back to open the stretch. And rotate back to center and release the posture. Push up into cobra pose. Squeeze the shoulder blades like we've been working on. Pull the elbows apart, pull the shoulders and collar blades apart. Yeah, it looks good. That's really nice. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Emily said sometimes these earbuds will fall out of your ears, and that just happened. But I think I kept the one with the speaker the whole time. You let me know if you could hear that the earbud fell out of my ear. But I think the microphone's on the right one, but then the left one fell out. Testing out our new tech friends. Thank you so much for bearing with me as I figure out what the best new option will be in 2026. Come back to forward fold. Balance over your feet. Inhale, rise up. Good. Take a moment, see if your chest and your ribs feel more open after that posture we just did there. We're going to do the dancer pose, and some of us might want to use the dancer pose against the wall. You'll put the wall will be out in front of you. The wall will be out in front of you if you want to use a wall tonight. And so you're going to put the left hand on the wall. You'll take the right foot back behind you. You're going to hold that foot with the hand. And it's the same pose we did when we were just laying on our side there. Really, if you think about it. If you need a strap, please go use a strap. And when we grab the foot, we're grabbing on the outside, but today we're going to work this same action. We're going to walk the hand so you're covering the toes and stop there. As you cover the toes, you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades. Now, what will happen as you squeeze the shoulder blades, you're going to squeeze both shoulder blades, even the hand that's on the wall. This might bring your body or your nose closer to the wall. Okay, so you're still squeezing both shoulder blades, not just the one that's holding the foot. And if you want to continue, go to the inner seam of the foot and still keep squeezing both shoulder blades, pulling them back, keeping that activity. And then we start to breathe and open our side ribs, front chest. Expand the breath to expand the pose. And this is another way of finding stillness in yoga. They call it like a luminosity, right? You're illuminating with brightness so that you can perceive the quietude, the stillness of all things, filled with so much light and energy. And then come back to center. There are a couple different ways of pursuing stillness we talked about today. One was just surrendering into the mat, letting go. Then we had becoming firm and strong, toning our muscles to create steadiness. Then we had flow, participating with what's letting things do what they naturally want to do. You're going to switch sides. You're going to hold your left foot behind you, right hand on the wall. We start on the outer foot. I'll turn to the side so you can see more clearly. Start holding the outer foot. And you just start to walk the hand to the toes and give a pause here where we engage our shoulder blades, engage our upper back muscles. That may be enough. You might want to keep going to the inner foot, continuing that rotation and allowing that wrapping of the upper back muscles. Pulling back with both shoulders and the mid back as you open the pose. And the fourth stage or fourth version of pursuing stillness is luminosity, is brightening up inside with so much fullness and energy that the stillness is just, it has like a magnificence to it, inner luminosity. And then come back down. As soon as that light starts to fade, we bring it back in. You should feel that the cross of chest is quite open and free, quite spacious. Good. From here, let's step our right foot back. We got to finish some of our standing poses. A couple more rotations still to open. Open a warrior two in the legs for a moment. And then let's straighten the leg. And today you're going to work on your, I'll turn to the side so you can see a little more clearly. You're going to work on what we did earlier. Remember how we did the 90 degrees with the elbow, the 90 degrees? You're going to do that 90-degree thing again, but you're going to keep them kind of closer to the elbows. We'll call them little baby dragon wings or baby chicken wings, whichever one you prefer to be. You want to be a baby chicken or a baby dragon? You choose. Push down through your feet, and you're going to tilt the baby dragon or baby chicken, baby ostrich, baby penguin, any sort of avian, baby avian creature you'd like. Now you can get the back of the left hand against the calf or the knee and press against it, and then pull the right elbow and right back hand back as well. So both shoulder blades are activating, opening the chest. You can start to stretch your dragon wings a little bigger. Push down through your feet and inhale, rise up. Let's change which leg is in front. I wonder if I can get a better view this way. Yeah. Okay. Baby avian creature, even a magical creature like a dragon, a chimera. I don't know. I think I'm running out of mythological bird things. Gently pull back, elbows in, hands back, and tip forward. And you can get the back of the right hand to the knee or the calf and press. And then let the upper arm as well open back, opening the chest, and breathe here. Start to stretch them out. Push down through the feet. Inhale to come up. And let's step forward to the front of our mat. Good job. Just rest your palms against your belly like this for a moment. Done a lot of great chest opener, shoulder, upper back building. Gonna let a little bit of a counter pose happen here. Hands on the belly, let the elbows be heavy out to the side. Let your forehead rest against an imaginary wall in front of you. Try to breathe low in the belly here and sink down straight through your feet. So this still feels very much like an upright, that your inner body is still opened up from our yoga poses, but the shoulders are relaxed. Got a little more of a natural humility or how you might carry yourself in the world. Most people don't walk around thinking they're baby dragons. Take another moment just to be in your mountain pose. And bend your knees, slowly lower down into a squat pose. Let the hands come to the earth. And come down to your knees. Walk the knees back a little bit. You can tuck the toes so your toe pads are on the mat. Try to get all 10 of them on the mat. And shift your hips back like you're going to send your sit bones towards your heels, stretching the sole of the foot. And then you just sort of let go the rest of the effort, like we talked about earlier. You let go into stillness, releasing effort. So if you feel your body holding, that just might be the natural stretch of a pose, but it's not a forcefulness on your part. This is the first one we talked about today. Just letting go into a stillness. Same thing. If your arms are straight here like mine are, I can then just let go the effort and let my ribs kind of fall through my shoulders. Passive pursuit of stillness. Come forward, walk the hands forward. You're gonna, as you walk the hands back to the front edge of the mat, bring the left knee forward and the right knee back a little bit. We're gonna do a pigeon pose, and you can take your left foot as wide as you want. Mine's usually about like 45 degrees, feels good to me. And then again, I put a little bit of focus to sort of firm up my hips. You can press down through your knees and square your hips to the mat. This creates a little bit of support, stability. It's another pursuit of stillness, like actively engaging the muscles to kind of hold with strength. You can just stay there, or as a wind down, we go back to the first option, which is just surrender. Let the knees and the pelvis sink down into the floor, elbows, head, chest sink down into the floor. And bring the hand back to the mat. Come back up. And let's come back to a tabletop pose for a moment. Just neutralize the hips a second. I'm going to create a little bit of stability here. It feels good on my body. I'm going to tuck the toes, press the hands down, and squeeze your arms and squeeze your inner thighs towards each other without them moving, just to create some muscular tone, a little bit of warmth and steadiness. And then when you relax that, slide the right knee forward and the left knee back a little bit, moving into pigeon on the second side. Maybe do a little bit of steadiness first, some active muscular strengthening by pressing your knees down and square your hips to the front of the mat. You can keep that and just kind of hold the pose there, or just surrender. Let go into the gravity of the pose and sink down. Both are pursuits of stillness, and the teachings say that stillness is always there. And you can't really look to the world for that stillness, that the world is moving and changing and filled. with action, really, by design. But some things can remind us of that stillness. We talked about 4 different ways to be reminded of that stillness in our practice today. Sometimes it's just being around someone who makes you feel very comfortable and relaxed. Sometimes it's your favorite meal or movie or music that creates that reminder of peace and ease and stillness. But there's reminders out there in the world, but the teachings say, hey, it's there. It's there whether you're reminded of it or not. And yoga is about sort of creating a permanent reminder for yourself that the practices are there until it can be sustained on its own, that there is an awakening or a recognition. Stillness is always there. Let's roll onto our front hip, our right hip, and go ahead and swing the left leg all the way around to the front of your mat. Place the soles of the feet together. Flex the toes and pull the knees down. As you pull the knees down, you can use your hands to kind of bring the spine and chest up. Good. Breathe here. And bring the knees up. And slowly lower down into the mat, onto your back. Put the right leg out long. Take the left knee up, and then all the way across the body for a twist. Turn your left palm up and out to open the shoulder. Roll it back to center, put out the left leg, and bring up the right. Let's twist to the other side. Long, slow breath. Remember breathing long and slowly. It moves the breath towards stillness, which helps move our attention towards stillness. Resting into the mat, relaxing. It moves us towards stillness as opposed to being very active and excitable. And these reminders help us find it. But ultimately, that stillness is beyond the breath. It is beyond the body because those things are active. Those things are in motion. Come back to center. Lift your chin up so you open the throat slightly. Press your elbows down. I'm going to turn to the side here and show you fish pose. You can do fish pose if you are not. It's up to you. Just do a more light version of fish pose. So version 1 is you're going to push your elbows down. I like to keep my knees bent. Push my elbows down. And you just go here. So I'm just on a little more on the back top of my head. So see the throat is open. And as you push down more, you can get a little more on your head. You just stay up. Let the neck be supported and open. Or you can rest on the top of the head. You choose how deeply you want to go into the pose. Keep pressing actively down through your elbows to help support shoulder tone, upper back tone, support the neck. When you come out of the pose, you're going to reactivate the elbows and slide the head back out when you're ready. Slide the legs out long, slide the arms out long. And be in stillness. Slowly stretch your body and press up to a comfortable seat. Happy New Year to y'all. Thanks so much for practicing tonight. Namaste. See if I can figure out how to stop the recording on my